Alright, YouTube. So, it's really late right now, so I can't. I'm going to try not to get too worked up, and I'm going to try to keep this video really short. But I could not go another second without saying this, because somebody fucking has to. And it's getting really, really freaking annoying. Understand something. When we decided to fight, when we decided to support Bernie Sanders, it was never about Bernie Sanders, the man. It was about what he represented. He represented real change. He represented changing the system for the better. He represented saying fuck off to the establishment. This was never ever about getting a Democrat into the White House. We wouldn't care if Bernie Sanders ran as a Republican or as an independent. The party label doesn't matter. The party platform never mattered. When Hillary supporters said that Bernie is not a Democrat, yeah, that was a good thing. That was the reason why we supported him. And that's the reason why we still support him. Because we like what he represents. So now, hearing Bernie go on TV and talk about how we need to support him and we shouldn't be supporting Jill Stein, to be honest, it fucking pisses me off. It really pisses me off. And I just have to come out and say it. I hear him talking about, his accomplishments in pushing a progressive, the most progressive platform the party has ever had and all of that stuff. Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. What was Woodrow Wilson's platform? What was Abraham Lincoln's platform? What was President Taft's platform? You know why you can't answer that question? Because it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody gives a shit about a bunch of empty promises. Nobody gives a shit about what you promise in your campaign. Nobody gives a shit about what you said in your campaign or in the primaries that you were going to do. You know what people care about? People care about what you get done. What you accomplish. That's all that fucking matters. So, no, I disagree. You haven't accomplished shit. Except wake us the fuck up to how fucking corrupt and fucked up this system is. And the fact that the only way to get real change in this system is to vote for a third party. That is the only way that we'll ever get change. You know, I've been listening to all the progressives talk, like the Young Turks, Secular Talk, Cal, which these guys are all good guys, don't get me wrong. David Pacman, etc. They're all great guys. They do great stories, and I'm a big fan of all of their shows. But I 100% disagree with them on this one issue. About how, we all have to rally behind Hillary, and I'm going to vote for Hillary in the primary, you should too, because we can't have a Donald Trump and all of that shit. That's one thing you're not going to see on this channel. And if you disagree with me, you're more than welcome to unsubscribe. Right? I'm not doing this because I want subscribers. My page is not monetized or paid. Because this is not about money for me. I don't need the fucking money. I'm saying this because this is what I believe in. And this page will never be monetized because of that. Now, I care deeply about this country. And I care deeply about the future that we're leaving for the rest of society and for the world. And I have children. And I don't want them to grow up in a Trump world. But at the same time, I don't want them to grow up in a world where they have to vote however the oligarchs tell them they have to vote. Because that's not democracy. That's an authoritarian regime. And that's not what America is about. America is about you having the freedom to choose. So you vote for the candidate that best represents you. Not for who the media tells you need to vote for. Not for who some party leaders tell you need to vote for. Not who the fuck I tell you to vote for. That's your choice. And you alone need to make that decision. So don't let anybody pressure you into voting for anybody or try to scare you into voting for anybody. Look, the only person, you are not responsible for Hillary getting elected or Hillary not getting elected. The only person responsible for Hillary getting elected is Hillary freaking Clinton and her freaking campaign. She had a year to earn your vote. And she has a couple months now to earn your vote. You don't need to vote for her because you feel obligated to. That is not democracy. Now you can call me naive and you can say anything you want to say about me, and that's fine. But this is reality. And if you want to get change, you need to stop feeling like you owe these politicians something. It's called representative democracy for a reason. It's because they represent you. You don't owe them shit. They need to work for your vote. And you know, the reason why I had to make this video is because I was watching Kyle on Secular Talk, and he talks about, oh, what Bernie has accomplished by getting super delegates out, you know, reducing them by 2/3 and all of this stuff. And what Bernie has accomplished by moving the party to the left and by shifting Hillary to the left. And oh, he's trying to have his cake and eat it too, where, oh, you know, if you live in a swing state, you know, you gotta take it on the chin and vote for Hillary. But if you live in a state that's, you know, solid, that you need to, you can vote any way you feel like, right? Because, and this is what he said, we need to send a signal to the establishment. Let me ask you this question. How many votes did Lyndon Johnson win by? How many votes did Kennedy win by? How many votes did, you know, President Johnson win by? Or President Ford? How many votes did they win by? You know why you don't know that question? The answer to that question? Because it doesn't fucking matter. What do you call a president that wins by 50% margin, or a president that wins by 0.5? You call him Mr. President. No one gives a shit about margins or any of that shit. Haven't you learned shit from Barack Obama's presidency and his election campaigns? Haven't you learned shit from all of the elections that have gone before? And haven't you learned shit from this primary process? Hillary won a lot of these states by narrow margins. But guess what? Didn't fucking matter, did it? Because she got the delegates and now she's the fucking nominee. And yeah, she cheated to do it, and there are no fucking consequences. Because it doesn't fucking matter. The margins don't fucking matter. You know what matters? Winning. And what the fuck you get done. What is FDR remembered for? The policies that he enacted. Glass-Steagall, winning World War II, getting us out of a fucking depression. That's what he's remembered for. What is Lyndon Johnson remembered for? The Civil Rights Act. That's what presidents are remembered for. What the fuck you do and what the fuck you accomplish. Not what you said in a primary, not what you said in a campaign, not what you said in a so-called platform. And Bernie, as much as I respect you, and don't get me wrong, you did enough with your 35-year record. So I'm not calling you a sellout or anything like that. I'm not saying that. All I'm simply saying is, you woke us all up. And you explained the seriousness of the issues that we face today. And if you wanted to do something about it, you literally could. And you still can. If you ran as an independent. Why the fuck are you doing what you think? You're doing what the Democrats want. Look, understand something. Hillary is never going to fucking win without cheating. It's not going to happen. I mean, just look at the freaking math and the metrics. It's literally impossible for her to win without rigging it. Bernie's average crowd size for all of his events was over 15,000 or over 20,000 people. Hillary's average crowd size was less than 1,000. How the fuck does she win? Explain that. You have a freaking convention for the supposed better nominee, and she keeps getting fucking booed at her own convention. How the fuck does she win? Explain that to me. And people are talking about, oh, Donald Trump this and that, Donald Trump this and that. Donald Trump has a united freaking party behind him. Donald Trump has an army of people who hate fucking Hillary behind him. Donald Trump doesn't have Republicans booing him at his own freaking convention. And Donald Trump is beating Hillary in freaking swing states. I am sick and tired of this bullshit. Nobody tells you who you need to choose. And nobody tells you who you need to vote for. You are a responsible adult. Man or woman out there. And you live in a free country. And you live in a country where you have a choice. Where you can support anyone you feel like. That's what makes America America. So don't let anybody pressure you into voting for anyone who they want to win. And that's all I had to say. If you choose you want to vote for Hillary, that's up to you. More power to you. That's your right. But vote for a candidate that best represents what you want. Or the person who you just like. Fuck it. Whatever your reasons, the reasons don't matter. All that matters is that it's somebody that you can live with. That you can go to bed and feel proud that you went out there and you cast that vote. I donated money to Bernie's campaign even after he lost elections. And even after it was mathematically impossible for him to win. You know why I did that? Because I believed in what he was fighting for. And what he represented. And he was the right candidate for me. And I do not regret any minute of that. And I don't regret a cent that I spent. Even though I spent over $1,000 on that campaign. Don't regret a single cent. And if I had to do it all again, knowing what the results would be, I'd fucking do it again. That's called freedom. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching.